Hello, and welcome to another week at the bungalow. So we're continuing with the project we started last week, where we were pulling out the post foundations and the posts. As you can see at the end of that gravel board is where one of the posts came out. This is the one that caused us most of the problems. Timber kept sliding and all sorts, and the other problem is it makes such a big hole once you're done. So we end up refilling it with soil, redigging it, but of course because you've disturbed the soil, it's really soft. So as you'll see shortly, we had a different solution to the problem. But we'll continue with this. So the posts are going exactly the same fence as before, like we did down the side. The old panels. Getting rid of the oldest, one of the few panels that survived. And of course paving slabs, of which we seem to have, I think, the supply of paving slabs. Absolutely everywhere. Favourite tool, getting the gravel board out. And of course you have to dig the hole first of all, get down to the concrete. And that's where it changes. So instead of completely removing it, we've got ourselves a breaker. And we sort of broke up most of the concrete, or the top layer of the concrete, picked that out, along with breaking out the bottom of the post. Bending it over, so cracking the cement and then cutting off the wires. And then once the wires are cut through, you can remove the post. And it turned out that all the obviously, because we're using panels again, the posts are pretty much spaced out exactly the same. So we then dug down, knocked out the concrete, and then used the same post, and then reconcreted the post on top of the original foundations. So we're sort of using and adding to the foundation. We're not removing all of the concrete, and instead of a half a day's work to try and get it out, it's not too bad. It was maybe half hour with breaking it up, and we could get on with the actual job in hand, which was putting the fence back in. Fence panels were pretty good, pretty square. Sort of had to bounce a few on their corners to square them up a bit, but they're pretty good. Like I say, it's mid-range fencing, it's not Rolls Royce, much to Claire's disappointment. So they went on pretty smooth. Capping pieces in, makes it look alright. Tides it up. So pretty much most panels followed the same process. Digging round, exposing the concrete, then use the breaker to break up the top of the concrete, bottom of the post, snap them off with the wire cutters, and then basically reduce the level of the concrete so that the wooden post fitted in nicely, right height. And then concrete them back in, so the concrete then held wooden post on top of the original foundation. Seems to work pretty good. Once the concrete had gone off, they're nice and rigid. As soon as we had 11 to get rid of, we had to find something quicker than the jacking out idea, because that was killing us. And nice weather, that helps. The ground was dry. You're not kneeling in mud. So now we're up to about panel 5 out of 11. Just screwed into the posts. This is the square method for squaring them up. Just so they fit nice in. Last few panels in. The last panel took a little bit of trimming down. I think we had to knock off one end and a couple of the uprights just so it fitted perfect. But it was worth going to the effort so that it looked the same. You can hardly tell the difference. And yeah, this is what we did on all the panels. Drilled through, screws in, and then it was just screwed into the posts. And the last one's in.
What? You've ruined my shop. Clear out my shop.
Clear shot.
I'll start again now.
And that's it. Another week done. As always, thanks for watching. And we'll see you on the next one.